I, all right, it's okay. We got case study number 6, or it's our 7th class, but we're doing the sample number 6 today, and it's another Leo. I don't think I've ever taught a class that had so many Leos in it at the same time. So we've had quite a few Leo charts. Got another one here. Okay. Okay, well, again, this whole process is about getting used to using the 30 steps and using to get a sense of what's a full interpretation, what's a good, thorough interpretation. There's always extra techniques, extra things we could add on other things, other ways of looking at it. I'm just suggesting you do these 30 steps first and put them in order, and it'll build up the depth perception and your way of thinking step by step in a correct way. Then you can add whatever else you want later, but at least you got your foundation secure. Okay, so the pattern type, it's a fairly simple pattern type. You can see it's the, all the planets are on just the moon on one side, all the planets below on the other half. So it's a bucket handle, it's a bucket type. It's the bucket type with the moon as the handle. Okay, so it's over. Sorry, I gotta find the chart. Okay, I gotta just go pick up the pattern type. Just be a second here. Not there. Okay, just bear with me. Okay. This is gonna be it. Okay, good. Sorry about that. Okay, so now we have the bucket type, and it's very distinct bucket type because the one's very far over. And okay, and we see the bucket, the moon is way up high in the chart, and all the other planets are below the horizon. Just outstanding. So it's not quite a seesaw effect, but all the personal energy is pushing to get its energy over to this moon. 9 planets on one side of the chart. This is the bucket type, with 1 planet on the other side. The bowl gets a handle. If 1 planet gets past the bowl's opposition, even by a few degrees, it becomes the handle of the bucket. But here, it's distinctly the bucket. This reveals a person who delves deeply into life and enthusiastically pours forth the results of experience. One's personal efforts will go out in an uncompromising or rigid manner. You will have a basic interest in a cause or purpose, that's like the bucket, the bowl, but you will have little concern over end results. You will use whatever is at your disposal as you see fit. You are inclined to make allegiances that will be of the most benefit to you. And here the handle planet shows the main focus. So in this case, the handle is the moon. So all her energy are going to focus on the moon, on nurturing, on being secure, on acting on one and relating to one's feelings, on nurturing, on caring, on one's habits. It's going to push, all the energy is going to justify and push itself towards that moon. It could be mother, it could be home, it could be the kids, it could be family, it could be food, it could be your habits, it could be so many things, but you know, we've got the focus on the moon. So we're going to have to do good interpretation of the moon to see how this works. Okay. And this moon is up in the 10th house, up high in the chart. I'm not really bringing that in so much right now, but it's a very prominent moon to begin with, most elevated. So in this case, there really is a big distinction, but it's a funny balance because all the personal energy below is pushing all the personal energy to put it out into the world for the moon, for security, for accomplishment, to feel secure in one's accomplishment. Okay. Now, so that's our first thing. Okay, the next one, we have to figure out the phase of the moon. And whether here, it's just a simple thing. You see the sun, where the sun is in Leo on the left here. Imagine that's 1 degree Leo. You imagine where the 1 degree Aquarius is on the opposite side. And you can see it's not moving away from the sun. It's not on the counterclockwise half going up to the moon, to the opposite point. The moon is past the opposite point and moving back towards the sun. So when you look at it, the moon is clockwise from the sun, looking from the sun. That means it's coming back toward, if it's on that half, it's coming back to the sun. But really, if you see the moon's in Aquarius, you look at the opposite point of Aquarius, then you see Pisces, you see Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. It's moving back. It's on the waning half. So it's the waning moon. And to get the gibbous phase, I'm missing the aspects too. Oh my goodness, what am I doing today? Okay. 6 is going to be the aspects. Where are we? Here we go. Okay, so when you want to see you know it's waning, and you want to see the aspect. There's the exact aspect on the aspect terrain. You look at the top left-hand side. It's the sun to the moon. You can see the moon line. First line's for the moon. The sun is 114.48. Okay, so it's 114. It's just a trine. So this means it's between the gibbous and the half moon phase. So this would be called the waning gibbous phases. Gibbous is waning. It's the waning gibbous phase. Okay. There you go. Waning gibbous phase from 3.5 days to 7 days after the full moon. This phase begins at the gibbous or 3/4 moon and lasts until the exact half moon. The moonlight is decreasing, and along with it, the desire to stand alone. This phase lasts 3.5 half days up to the exact waning half moon. Here, there is a growing need for you to belong. You want to be cared for or loved by others. Unfortunately, there are many other people out there who may not want to give you what you want. You have a need to be independent, but you also have to have a growing urge to gain acknowledgement. You will be creative whenever there's a chance for attention. So essentially the need to be, okay, you are very sensitive to the response of others. It's as if you need some applause. So the needing the applause, the needing to be cared for. Her moon is up in the 10th house. She wants to take care of other people. She needs to take care of other people. She needs to be secure. And being secure, the moon on the handle of the bucket, is starting to be reinforced. It's being rescued by, you want to be cared for or loved by others. So you want to get other people's attention. You want to feel needed by others, and you're prepared to work really hard with that moon to take care of people so that you're taken care of. You'll be quite critical of your past, and you should continue to strive towards future goals. Now, this is an interesting puzzle again, because the future goals is the sun. The moon is the past. So you're trying to strive towards future goals, but her moon is accentuated, so the past will continually come up and be something she's taking care of for previous reasons. You will rarely be satisfied with family situations and will usually try to improve the circumstances of everyone who comes into your world, whether they want it improved or not. So it's interesting, rarely satisfied with family situations where the moon is the focus. It's a funny paradox. The pattern type and the moon phase are kind of challenging each other. You will often want to go back, but you feel you will no longer fit in. Your life will be one of continual adjustment. You are looking for new directions, but are unprepared to let go and trust others completely. You seem to be driven by a need to find a vision or purpose of your own. So you have a sense that something is missing in your life and that you have to be prepared to chase after it. New dreams, like new seeds, need to be nurtured for a while. Well, the nurturing, that's the moon. She can do that. Take your time. Discrimination is needed to avoid running down the wrong path or to avoid following the wrong people. Take care not to put others on a pedestal. Keep busy and you'll make headway. You look fervently for any chance to belong, but tend to be too eager to make it happen. Well, it's interesting. Chance to belong, chance to nurture someone, chance to take care of someone. And that moon is in Aries. It's also, it's going to be eager. It's going to want to push things. You are prone to making premature commitments and will often try to encourage others to go along with you. Commitments seem to pile up, and you seem to be the one person left who has to take care of them. Trying too hard can be a problem for you, and for those who want to be close to you. Try to moderate your own assertions. Okay, well, this is just, we're thinking here, and okay, so I lost a whole bunch of stuff. I'll have to go back and get it. Okay, so so we're seeing the moon on the bucket is pushing to express the needs, and here there was a caution of limiting them somewhat. So that, again, there's a contradictory energy between the pattern type and the moon phase, but they both are going to function. Each one will challenge or take a little bit away from the other. Now, I'm just going to look and see what we got here. Why? Oh, that's phase. Again, I'm missing a few things. Okay. That one. Back up. Okay. Oh, we're okay. Okay, good. So we've got our first step, our first two steps. So we've seen one's focusing on the moon and the other saying you got to move away from the moon, but the past keeps coming up, the moon keeps coming up, and you're supposed to move away with that for your own goals. But then there's things to take care of. I got to take care of the home. I got to take care of family. I got to take care of the past. Well, or mom or whatever. It's going to be somewhere there. This puzzle is there. This contradiction. This contradiction will be in her life in some way. We don't know what it is yet, but we're sensing it.